Hi everybody, Tom and Shelley here with Empower Network and the 1010 Formula Team.
Hi. Hey Tom, I read this or didn't read the whole thing because I know you're a bigger geek than I am. But I saw this article on the internet today about a geek auction. Did you read that?
Oh, yeah, I did read that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I knew you would have.
Yeah.
So Tom, tell us about this auction. When is this auction going to take place?
Well, for those of you out there that are geeks, let me just tell you, first of all, that being a geek is not a bad thing. It's okay to be a geek. The auction is taking place on May 25th, and a German auction house named Brecker is doing the actual auction.
So it's a geek auction? Why are they calling it a geek auction?
Yeah, I think the article called it a geek auction because it's talking really about the things that are going to be auctioned are things like first edition computers and things like that. One of the things that's kind of cool, if you're a geek, well, accountants may like this, I don't know, but there is a 17th century calculating machine, mechanical calculating device. It's not the original, actually. It's a replica of it, but it was built by Blaise Pascal in the 1600s. So,
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, I definitely learned something today. I didn't know two things in that statement. One, that the calculator was that old, or two, that it was invented by Blaise Pascal. So
there you go.
Thanks for sharing that, Tom.
There you go. See, geeks have something to add to society too.
We all have something to add to society. Okay, so give us some examples of what else is going to be auctioned off, Tom.
Oh man, there's some really cool stuff being auctioned off. For those of you who are familiar with people like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, the Wozniak, or Mr. Allen of Apple fame, some of the computers that actually started the whole thing back in the early 70s are going to be auctioned. For instance, they're going to auction an original Apple I computer, which is actually the first Apple that was ever invented, the Apple I, hence the Apple I.
But it wasn't the first computer.
It wasn't the first computer ever built.
Model.
It was the first computer that Apple built for resale. There were about 200 of them built, and they think that there are probably 50 still in existence, and of those, only about 6 are still operational. In fact, Sotheby's of England auctioned a motherboard off just last year, not the entire computer, just the motherboard, and it sold for $374,500. So dig around in your closets. If you've got an old Apple in there, give me a call. We'll work something out.
Yeah, it's too bad you didn't stash away some of those Apple motherboards.
Now, the first Apple that came with a mouse was called the Apple Lisa. They have one of those that's going to be auctioned as well, and one of the Apple Lisas actually sold a few years back for $640,000.
Wow!
And it was one of the first Apples. One of the really cool things, historians tell us that the computer that really started it all, that brought personal computing to the world, was the Altair MITS 8800. Now, you don't have to remember all of those numbers and everything, but the Altair was the computer that we believe is the one that inspired Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and, again, Allen and Wozniak to get on the ball and invent the computers. So they have one of those that's going to be up for auction too.
So, which one do you think is going to bring the most money?
You know, the Apple I that is going up for auction. Here's the really thing cool. The thing that's really cool about it. If you are a collector, you know that having documentation and original cartons and all those kinds of things are important. The Apple I that's going up for sale for auction actually has, get ready for this, has the original manual, which you would expect. It has all of the components, all of the tape player and everything that goes with it, and it has a written signed letter from Steve Jobs to the original owner. Now that's something that, business owners don't do much anymore. So given all that, it's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it sold for $800,000 or better.
Well, somebody had some foresight to save all that, because I know I have a computer sitting right next to me that's not even a year old that I still don't have the the manual to. So
That's
somebody
right.
knew that this new invention was someday going to bring a lot of money and kept all that. That was a smart person.
Well, it was probably owned by a woman, because we all know that men don't need those instructions.
That's right.
First thing we do is open the box and throw those away. So.
Hey, he said it, not me.
If I hadn't, she would have. So.
No.
I just got the first lick in.
So Tom, tell us how somebody bids here. Does this just an exclusive auction and you have to fly to Germany to participate in this, or can anybody bid on any of the items that are coming up for auction?
Well, flying there to bid in person would be the best way. In fact, I have someone coming to look at the house tomorrow because I've decided to sell the house and go over and bid on that Apple One myself. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it is an open auction. I believe anyone can bid. I believe you can even bid by phone. So.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be real cool. It'll be interesting to follow up and see who got it and how much they paid. Yeah, how much they paid for it. Sure.
So there you have it. The Geek auction on May 25th. A little summary of some of the items that are going to be for sale, and a prediction as to which one is going to go for the highest. So
there you go.
That sums it up.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day.